This Thursday, at a press conference in Spain, Oliver Stone declared, "I'm ashamed of my country." Now that doesn't seem so surprising. I mean, if you know anything about Oliver Stone, apparently, or at least seemingly, he's been ashamed of his country for a long time. He went on to say that the war in Iraq is a disaster, and that he is ashamed that America has attacked itself with constitutional breakdowns. He went on to add that he thinks it's a waste of time, all this conspiracy mongering over 9/11. Did I hear that straight?
Yes, you did.
Did I? Wait, say it again. All right. He thinks all the conspiracy mongering is a waste of time. Oliver Stone thinks conspiracy mongering is a waste of time? I mean, if that's the case, he's wasted much of his professional life. Hello? That's like if George Clinton said all this funk is a waste of time. However, the real story here is on August 9th of 2006, Oliver Stone released his new film, World Trade Center. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the piece, World Trade Center is a story of two police officers who get trapped in the World Trade Center as it collapses. They're buried under rubble for hours, and they're eventually rescued. He chose to tell a heroic, uplifting tale. And when he enlarges this on cinematic proportions, he leaves us with the feeling that everything's okay. And it's dangerous to focus on that story because that story is not indicative of what actually happened. Most of the people who were in the building when the tower collapsed did not get rescued. Mr. Stone apparently doesn't understand what kind of position of power he's in when he makes films. Movies get etched into our memory. And even though they're movies and they're dramatizations, if they're repeated often enough, they get absorbed. I don't think it does this country any good to turn 9/11 into a series of uplifting tales. 9/11 is such a huge failure on so many levels. To make a movie that romanticizes it is incredibly irresponsible. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd think that movie was directed by Steven Spielberg. It was that kind of candy-coated crap. And then he goes to Spain and gives a speech saying he's ashamed of his country and he's ashamed of how we've handled 9/11. There's an odd dichotomy at work here. Why did he not take the opportunity to make a film regarding how he feels about how we've handled it? Where's that voice? I mean, it certainly needs a bigger stage than a press conference in Spain. It's like 5 years ago, everybody in the country took a big handful of Percocet. I mean, here's a guy you rely on to bust something wide open. Here we go, Oliver Stone, balls out. And then the thing comes out, and this is what we get. But do you see my point? If Stone's voice isn't there anymore, it throws the scales out of balance. And then when our culture thinks of 9/11, they don't think, why? What are we doing? How did we get to this? What's going on? Why did this set off this chain of reactions in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Iran? We don't think of that. We think of police officers who are heroes. If I could sit down in a room with them, I would just say, Oliver, come on. It's me, Jimmy. And then I'd dope slap him. What are you doing, huh? Come on, what are you doing? Wake up, man. Come on. Get your head on straight. Fuck.